What's up, everyone? Hey. All right, it's Denise Salcedo, and welcome to my SummerSlam 2021 post show. I am all SummerSlam blinged out, everybody. I literally just came from Las Vegas, and I woke up bright and early. So last night I went to bed at 2 a.m. uploading videos. I woke up bright and early to leave I woke up at 7 and left around 8 o'clock, hit the road, got here before noon, and I had a nice nap in the car. It was great. And now here I am, and today we're going to talk about SummerSlam because so much went down. Lots of surprises, lots of things that had a lot of people buzzing. And not only that, I was there since Thursday. And so I'm going to kind of give you guys a rundown of everything that went down in the week and kind of also provide you guys more of a live event experience, more of the live event atmosphere and everything that went down on the show here today. For those of you guys who are wondering why the hat BTW is not fully on my head, is because I am not wanting to have hat hair. So I'm just going to have it at the tip. Just the tip, ladies and gentlemen, just the tip. All right, but we got plenty of super chats, and then we're going to get right into the stream. For those of you guys who are coming in, thank you guys so much for joining me. We got our first super chat of the day, and this one is from Chris Ludek, who says, is it true that all the credit card machines went down so you couldn't get drinks for hours? Also, was the pop for Becky Lynch bigger than Brock Lesnar's pop? Damn, Chris Ludek getting to the questions. All right, so I'm going to be honest with you guys. Allegiant Stadium was not, and I mean not, prepared for this event whatsoever. And by that, I mean is that Allegiant Stadium, I don't know when how long now they've been running, but I know that it's been maybe a brief time. I think they opened around the same time that SoFi Stadium opened. But the point is that they're new, but they're not extremely new to where they couldn't get these things that they had these issues with fixed. I've never been to a stadium or an arena or whatever the case may be that had as many issues as Allegiant Stadium. So first and foremost, I got very lucky because I was in the press box. So I was fed and I didn't have to, worry about purchasing food or anything like that. And also, I think I may have been under a different Wi-Fi. So there was like all sorts of, I know people were having issues with the Wi-Fi. People were having issues with, being able to purchase things. And so I'm going to give you guys like a little bit of like what I know about that, because everything that I saw that was going down was on social media, because I wasn't within the crowd. I was up all the way in the heavens in the press box. But after the show, I ran into my uncle and my aunt and my two cousins that were there, little kids. So they went to the show and they told me, get this, guys. So keep in mind, they're there with little kids, 6 and 7 year olds. Okay. Little kids want to eat. They want to have food. So they went down to try to get some food. And yes, everything was completely not working in terms of people wanting to buy things. You couldn't buy anything because I guess their system was down, which I think is absolutely nuts, given that I don't know how Allegiant Stadium doesn't have some sort of backup plan. You would think they would have a backup plan for these situations. Also, my aunt was telling me that but they ended up getting free food. So I guess in the end of the day, you can't complain too much if they got free food. And I'm glad they did, because you can explain to adults, hey, there's no food. But how do you explain that to little kids? Like, hey, we can't give you food because this thing isn't working. So they ended up getting free food, which was really nice. So good for them. But she was telling me, though, that apparently there were no toilet seat covers in Allegiant Stadium. I'm like, what the hell? How does this place not have toilet seat covers? That is insane. And then she also told me that essentially a lot of the staff didn't know where to send people to. They kept sending them up and down the stairs trying to find their seats. So in terms of Allegiant Stadium, guys, it was kind of a mess. There was a portion before Becky Lynch came out into the audience and all of that. So all of the screens at the top, all of a sudden, first they kind of blacked out and you didn't see anything anymore. And then they came back, but the brightness settings on the big screens at the top they were brought down very, very much. So you couldn't even see what was happening really on the big screens because the screens had gotten so dark. Like they lowered like the contrast brightness settings and just put up the shadows, man. So there was a little bit of glitching with the video boards. Again, this was all Allegiant Stadium, okay? Then the other thing that I ran into with Allegiant Stadium was that there is this big giant bridge area where you essentially like have to like, if you parked like in the hotels areas or you're trying to get back to the strip, you have no choice but to go through this bridge. And I'm talking one direction for everybody, thousands of people to walk through, guys. As somebody who was in a rush trying to get to the after party for the red carpet, I was beyond stressed out trying to make it there. I got very lucky and I got there a little late, so I missed a couple of interviews that I could have gotten. But again, I was literally in a crowd with thousands of people trying to get just over the bridge. But in the end, I ended up making it. So I would say that in terms of Allegiant Stadium, probably not the best. Could have been a lot better. So that's my question, my long-winded answer for you on the Allegiant Stadium. And then your second question about Becky Lynch's and Brock Lesnar's pop. So here we go. I think that okay, look, I want to get into more about this because there's a lot more that I think went down that I need to describe. But in terms, I'm just going to answer it right now. In terms of which one was louder, I'm going to say Becky Lynch. However, in terms of which one I marked out for the most, Brock Lesnar. But I will give you more information on that because there's so much more that I feel I need to say about what happened there. But thank you so much to Chris for sending in the super chat. He also wants to know if I know Alexandra Wellington. I do not know Alexandra Wellington, but thank you for asking. And Alexandra Wendling. No, I'm sorry. I don't know her. Sorry about that. We got another super chat from Podcast Wiz 2010 who says, don't know if you saw, but your post SummerSlam interview with Bianca was featured on Wrestling Inc. I did not see that, but I'm not surprised because a lot of my interviews tend to get picked up and they get picked up like all over the place. But thank you so much for letting me know this. That interview is just hit 50,000 views. I got to talk to Bianca Belair after her loss. If you are curious as to what she had to say, you can definitely check out that interview there. So thank you so much to Podcast List for sending in the information here. We got another super chat from Dan V900 who says, you were napping while driving? That's dangerous. I got the eye mask on. I was completely knocked out. BTW guys, I was in the passenger seat. I was not driving, but so yes, I was knocked out while driving over here. We got another super chat from Dan V900 who says, the stadium only seemed to be mic'd well during Rollins Edge and Cena Reigns. The Becky pop didn't come across as big on TV as people said it was live. So I do not know how things came across on TV. I've literally have had zero, and I mean zero opportunity to rewatch anything on the actual TV broadcast or on video clips. I've literally haven't even had a chance to go on social media and watch any of these videos, guys. So I do not know how it came across for everybody else. For us, it was loud. Here's the thing that you guys need to know about this crowd. So about this crowd is you had people who wanted to be hot about what they were seeing. You had people that were really, they were waiting for moments to like freak out. Like you got to understand, like this was not a crowd. You know, you usually see crowds and they're dead. They kind of lose energy and all of that. This was a crowd that was waiting. They were there for this big SummerSlam party. So they were waiting for things to happen. They were waiting to like, you know, mark the hell out and get really excited. Like that was the thing that I got from the crowd. Being there in person, people were ready to essentially lose their minds. They were ready for surprises. So when that Becky Lynch got an extremely loud reception, guys, I don't think that I can describe to you how loud it was unless you were there. And that's just going to happen. And I mean, it was so loud, I couldn't hear my own thoughts. Like, that's how loud the reception was for her. And because the stadium is, you know, a lot of that too of what helped that why it was extra louder in the stadium was because it was like sort of the sound was also echoing. So there was a lot of like space where the sound could, bounce around. And then for me, like being at the top, all of that sound was like coming right at me. So I think that is also what attributed to that. And the Brock Lesnar pop, I feel like that one, I didn't get to notice it as much just because I was freaking out. So I was so lost in the moment that I wasn't a moment where I was able to like really grasp everything because I was just so enthralled. But I can tell you that that was the moment that like everybody in the media section was just like, grown men jumping up and down, like just freaking out about, Brock Lesnar and whatnot. So, but we're going to get into that a little bit more. We got another super chat from Jared Simons who says, just a big thanks from New Zealand. Love all of your content and the banter that you share with Sean and Luke. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. We got another super chat from Podcast Wiz 2010 who says, was it a chore to be around SRS? Hashtag Fightful Fateful. We only got to see each other a couple of times. We only saw each other at 2 events, really. So I barely got to talk to Sean. We were mainly just fighting on social media. So that's the gist of the relationship there. We got another super chat from Cheeky Monkey who says, Becky win just killed my mood for a lot of the pay-per-view. Did the crowd seem confused? So Cheeky Monkey, we're going to talk about that because, oh my God, I don't think I can describe to you guys the utter and complete disappointment and silence when Carmella came out and it was going to be Bianca Belair versus Carmella. And here's the thing, guys, is that because we are used to WWE making these types of decisions and WWE giving us these types of things, a lot of people were not expecting Becky Lynch. Obviously, there were some people, but in that moment, when it seems like they really were going to go with Bianca and Carmella, I mean, absolutely nobody was reacting. Everybody kind of had this, like this, just silence, because they were like, what the frick is going on? Like it was like someone died. The disappointment was a wave of disappointment. So when Becky Lynch's music hit, it felt like a giant swerve, a big time swerve. And I, for one, was so thankful because I legitimately thought this was what we were going to get. Bianca versus Carmella. And I will tell you that completely saved the crowd. However, the events that unfolded afterwards, well, that was questionable. And we'll get into that in a second. We got another super chat from CJ Dar who says, so excited that Becky is back. Hate the way it affected Bianca. Why not give Bianca a better showing after that year that she's had? So this is what sucks, guys. And I know that I'm supposed to go in chronological order, but screw it. Everybody wants to talk about this. When this match started, when we officially thought, okay, we're going to get Bianca versus Becky Lynch, I was expecting like a good, maybe, 20-minute performance. I don't know what I was expecting, but the point is I was not expecting what happened, okay? I was expecting Becky Lynch to win, and I get it because she's returning and all of that. I get it, all right? I get it. That's not the problem. I don't think people got an issue with Becky Lynch actually winning. I think it's more so the way that she essentially squashed Bianca. So she comes out there, we're getting this match. I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen. You want to know what's messed up? I was watching and I looked down at my laptop to tweet about this. I look up, 1, 2, 3, pin, bell rings. I missed the entire thing. I had no idea that I was going to miss the match because I had no idea that it was going to be like, I think I saw somewhere that it was 25 seconds or however many seconds it was. I was in complete shock when Becky Lynch won in that manner. Not that she won, but that she won in that manner. I think that they could have gone about this in an entirely different direction because here's the thing about Bianca Belair is that Bianca Belair, she is a natural, likable baby face. Everybody likes Bianca. It's easy to get behind Bianca. When she won the Royal Rumble and she had this like authentic moment where she's crying and she's being interviewed, her winning the Royal Rumble was one of the greatest like wrestling moments, I think, at least in my book. And so when that, so you have somebody who is so liked by the people. And then unfortunately, things she didn't keep a lot of that momentum as champion, but that wasn't really her fault. That was given the fact that she didn't really have any other hot challengers aside from Bayley to really work with, afterwards. So that was no fault of her own. But then after that, it's like the people were still behind Bianca. People still like Bianca. Like you had people here that were torn when it was going to be Bianca versus Sasha Banks because you got your Bianca fans, you got your Sasha Banks fans, and that's how it's supposed to be. And so for her to lose in this way, it was the wrong call. If she was going to lose, okay, fine. But they should have given her a nice, 10-minute match, 15-minute match. I don't know how long of minutes, but something more dignified, something a little bit more respectful, because this hurt a lot of people. And I will tell you, first and foremost, I felt so bad for Bianca Belair and Carmella when they were out there because the crowd was booing after the initial, silence and the initial shock that people were going through. It was boos. People were just booing them. And like Bianca still knew, guys. I don't know how she must have felt in that moment, kind of knowing that everybody was shitting on this. And then afterwards, man, I lost my train of thought here, but I felt bad in that situation. I felt bad for both Carmella and Bianca Belair because they did not deserve to be put in that situation. And then afterwards, when Bianca lost, I felt bad for the way that she lost, but I also felt bad for Becky Lynch because now you got a bunch of people mad at Becky Lynch because of the way that she won. And Becky Lynch is likable as hell. She's over as over as someone can be. So now you kind of, people have been anticipating this moment with Becky Lynch coming back, and then you sort of sour it by having her win in this way that kind of just buried Bianca Belair. And so man, guys, so I think that a lot of people were hurt during this situation, and that includes Carmella, Bianca Belair, and Sasha Banks. Oh, wait, sorry, excuse me. I meant Bianca Belair, Carmella, and Becky Lynch in this situation because they were the ones out there essentially dealing with the repercussions of the fans and the fan reactions. So there you go with that. We'll have more to talk about in a second. Thank you so much to CJ Dar for sending in this super chat here. We got another one from Jorge Sandoval who says Becky's win really did kill the pay-per-view yesterday. Anyways, can't wait for Adam Cole's last WWE show today. We don't know that, guys. We do not know that. But in terms of Becky Lynch's win killing the crowd, again, I do not know how this came across on TV. I wouldn't say that the crowd was supremely dead, but they definitely weren't as lively as maybe they were earlier on in the show. But I will tell you this, though, there was a lot of different things that happened afterwards that the fans definitely appreciated. And one of them was definitely that moment with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, which we will get to in a second, guys. Thank you so much to George Sandoval for sending in this super chat. We got another one from Taylor Cannon who says, You're phenomenal. You're phenomenal. I really enjoyed your interview with Bianca. Thank you for doing what you do. Guys, I was so happy that I got that interview with Bianca Belair because I knew that we had questions for her. Honestly, I felt bad for her too. Having to go out there and knowing that every single person on that red carpet was going to ask her the exact same questions. How did you feel about Becky Lynch coming out here and, essentially the way that you lost? And it's not a fun thing to have to ask her about that. But I will tell you, though, that during that interview with Bianca Belair, guys, she's not going to go out there and trash, Becky Lynch or anything or any of the decisions that were made or anything like that. And she was very, very professional. She was, kind of more not on the scripted side, but she gave the politically correct answers that you would expect for her to give. But I think even while listening to her, talk about the moment and everything, there was a lot of realness to that, because if you go and listen to the interview, there's a lot that she said in there that I kind of felt like I was kind of sort of reading in between the lines of the emotion and how she sort of felt. And there was a moment where I even mentioned that Becky Lynch is the SmackDown Women's Champion. And she even said, like, dang, like hearing you say those words, like, damn, like it kind of, got to her in that moment there. And I did feel bad. And off camera, I did talk to Bianca Belair, and I essentially just told her, like, I was like, look, I told her straight out, it's like on all my post shows. First of all, I thanked her obviously for doing the interview with me, period. And then afterwards, I told her on all my post shows, I'm constantly putting you over because you are you are so likable. I told her, you're so likable. I think the people are really behind you. And she was just like, she gave me the expression of like, she appreciated what I had to say, and she also understood what I was trying to get at without really saying anything. I was just complimenting her and letting her know, we're behind you. We like you, Bianca, that sort of thing. And so I think she appreciated that. It was a nice moment. Very humble girl, a very nice girl, BTW, very friendly. Even afterwards, when I asked her if I could take a picture of her, she was like, yes. And then I was like, can I get a picture with you now? And she was like, yes. Very, very nice person. And I would say that in overall, she was in good spirits. I think at the end of the day, she knows that this is not, the last of this. And at least now, she has this story with Becky Lynch, and she has this still the story to come with Sasha Banks, which we did talk about as well in that interview, which you can check out. It's up on this channel, so you guys can definitely view all of that. And all right, guys, I know we're jumping all over the place, but I just feel like I got so much information to provide that I don't even know where to begin. Connecting people through wrestling says that the Brood entrance was the reason I flew to SummerSlam. That was a really awesome moment. I thought that it looked legit, and it was really, really cool to just experience that. Thank you so much to In Your Head Changed Man for sending in a super sticker. I thank you for this. All right, guys, so here we go. I'm going to try to run down. I'm not going to go through all the nooks and crannies of, everything that went down on every single match, but I do want to go over everything and kind of highlight what killed the crowd, what didn't kill the crowd, etc. And we'll kind of talk about that. If there's anything that you're like, damn it, Denise, you haven't talked about this, please bring it up, because I have so much in my head right now that I want to make sure I give you guys all the information. We got one from a super chat from Sion Nolan, who says, I love Becky. She's my favorite, and I'll never tire her. Seeing her win the gold. This was dumb, though. I hope Becky becomes more heelish after this. And that's the thing. Exhibit A, guys, this is what I mean when I said that this hurt Becky Lynch, the most over person. You don't want to hurt the most over person. And look, this super chat here from a fan, a Becky Lynch fan, even knows that this wasn't the way to go. But guys, just know that, these are all people coming in and doing the job that they are told to do. We don't know exactly if this was the original intent of how Becky Lynch was supposed to debut with the company. Return back to the company after her pregnancy. We do not know what exactly was the original plan, or if this was the original plan. We do not know. We cannot speculate on that because there's just a lot of other stuff to the story. We got another super chat from Oliver via Royale, who says, did you see Ollie's reaction to CM Punk? It was amazing, to be honest, and keep up the good work. Hollywood tried to take it easy on Sean. He don't deserve to get all the heat he gets from you. He gives me a lot of heat too, man. I said hi to Sean yesterday. He was on the second row and I was on the first row, and I was waving at him from bottom, underneath him, and he was threatening to throw water on my head, so I ran the hell out. So he ain't a victim, guys. He ain't a victim. He ain't innocent. But thank you so much to Oliver for sending in the very kind super chat. We got another one from CJ Dar, who says, I really hope Bianca and Becky can both recover. I think they will, in terms of, well, at least Becky, because she's Becky Lynch and she's at another level in terms of superstardom. That's just the way that it is. But for Bianca Belair, they're going to have to make sure that she gets her revenge somehow. They're going to have to switch things up. And that's the thing, too, that this is what sucks. If Bianca was a heel, all right, great. This would maybe not great. I still don't think that the the finish would have been completely perfect, but maybe if she was a heel, it would have been a little bit more dignified, right? I don't know. Maybe you could have defended it a little bit more, but when she's a baby face and then you essentially, it's like you could build more than one baby face. You can have more than one baby face on your roster, but clearly that's not the direction we're headed in. Cyclops is better than Wolverine says, the let play it out people make me want to scream. Look, I made sure to put, we'll see what happens, because I always get these comments of, Denise, have patience, let it play out, this and that. And I'm in the position now where I'm trying to please everybody and pleasing nobody at the exact same time. We got another super chat from DKC Returns who says, WWE as per usual, leaving a lot of money on the table. Exactly. See, let me say this. This would have been a pretty, better idea. Okay. Aside from them having a competitive match, you could have literally, and okay, so apparently WWE knew ahead of time that, hey, Sasha Banks was not going to be able to compete. Okay, that is what the reports are saying, that they knew ahead of time that she was not going to be able to compete for whatever reasons. Okay, and so knowing that, they should have done something on SmackDown. They could have done a tournament of some sort where you have, the few women that they have on the SmackDown roster compete in a tournament. Have one of them essentially, maybe Toni Storm. Toni Storm would have been a great option. Have Toni Storm go and have this match with Bianca Belair announced so that people know, okay, it's going to be Toni Storm versus Bianca Belair. So we're already expecting that. All right, great. Have them have a great match, Bianca and Toni. Okay, awesome. Bianca could have won. Great, awesome. And then after that, you could have had Becky Lynch coming out, and that's how that could have gone down, because at least then you have Bianca Belair keep, some of her dignity as champion. I just think that there's ways that could have worked out a little bit better, but I do think that the reason why they did this, and this is just me assuming why this was done, was because of the shock factor. I think they wanted just that shock of, oh shoot, Becky Lynch won and she won in this manner. That's what I think. That's the reason why I think they did it. Again, that's not like me saying that I know for sure. This is just myself assuming, making an assumption. We got another super chat from Cyclops is better than Wolverine, who says Vince really knows how to crap the black fans. Yes, because a lot of people are talking about this in terms of also relating it to Kofi Kingston and that whole situation. I have been seeing a lot of comments about that too. Man, guys, I got no comment for that. I don't know what to say other than it kind of does suck. Yeah. We got another super chat from Nick Salvalho, who says, found your channel recently through Wrestle Talk / Parts Fun Unknown. Loving your content, and we both share a fave singer, T Swift, all the way. Thank you so much, Nick, for finding my channel, coming on here and showing some support. I really, truly appreciate it. And thank you and every single person who does, guys. We got another super chat from Bear Hudson, who says, you continue to amaze millions of people and become a trailblazer. Denise, you will continue to inspire millions of people and believe in their dreams. Thank you so much, guys. When I get comments like this, I'm just like, shoot, when did this all happen? I really, really thank you for this, guys. For those of you who do not know everything that went down this weekend, I arrived to Las Vegas on Thursday. I was at the I keep saying media tryouts. God, the talent tryouts, the media was there, and we got to essentially, see the tryouts and how all of that was going. Triple H was there. William Regal was there. Matt Bloom was there. Samoa Joe was there. I wasn't expecting them all to be there. I wasn't expecting Triple H mainly to be there, but he was there. And, I got to ask him a question, which was pretty cool. Really nice guy, really nice person, gave a lot of insight during that media scrum. So that was pretty interesting to see. I would definitely check that out as well. That's also up on my channel. But after that, Friday, I did the media junket on Friday, and that one was like more interviews. And then the following day was obviously SummerSlam, and then after that was the after party, and then after that I came home. So it's just been like really nonstop. And BTW, guys, I'm literally a one-woman team, so like this was literally me going out there, getting these interviews, coming home, and like posting them up, immediately on YouTube, a lot of media people were like going up to me and they were like, damn, you got your interviews up fast. And I was like, hell yeah, and on super shitty Wi-Fi, I may add, because the Wi-Fi in a hotel is not the greatest, guys. I was literally praying during my SmackDown Rampage post show. I was praying that the internet gods were on my side, because I paid extra money to have enhanced internet at the hotel, and the enhanced internet literally sucked butt. But even then, it was the best option for me. And I was just praying, please don't end the stream. Please don't end my stream. So I got very lucky that the internet gods were on my side on that day. But let's get into this, guys, because we got so much to talk about. Holy moly. All right, I'm going to speed through the boring stuff, but we'll get to it. Pre-show match, Baron Corbin, Big E. I love the fact that, Baron Corbin's obviously, coming out with the no music. That was even funnier because he was literally coming out just to the ambience of the crowd. And this is when I realized that it was going to be loud in there, because this was a pre-show match and the crowd was legit. They were hyped for this match. They're hyped for Big E. People like him. And then people are actually enjoying the story that they are telling with Baron Corbin. So I actually thought that that I was pleasantly surprised by how much reaction they were getting throughout this entire match. Like, people were popping for like some things where I thought, oh, I didn't really realize people were going to pop for that. But they did. There was some really good stuff in this. Big E went for the splash on the ring apron, but Baron Corbin moved on out of the way. That was a nice little spot there. And then eventually we see Baron Corbin try to run from Big E with the briefcase, but he literally just runs. But Big E literally just like runs right into him and kind of like pounces him. And Big E ends up winning this match. The people popped for that too. I mean, people were excited, guys. I mentioned this at the top of the stream. The people wanted to see entertaining stuff, okay? And that's the thing, guys, is like, if you're going out there and you're paying your money, and a lot of these people travel to the show, they don't want to go and watch a shitty show. They want to go and enjoy themselves. They're literally there to be entertained and to have a good time. And you got that from the crowd. And I noticed that immediately on the pre-show. We got a super chat from Tom Talks Rubbish. Thank you so much for sending this in, and says, love all you do. I'm an aspiring interview and one day hope to be as great as you. I know you're a busy woman, but could I interview you? Feel free to send me an email and I will definitely try to see if I can make that happen. I appreciate you sending in the super chat. After this, we jump into the main show, guys, and this is where things kind of start to get a little interesting, and we start to have some really good moments here. So first and foremost, they did the SummerSlam like the start of the show, right? So the show kicks off. They do the little video package, and then they shoot to the crowd, and I'm like, where's the pyro? Where's the pyro? And I was kind of a little scared because I don't like being high up, guys. Like, I kind of get a little nervous. My hands were a little sweaty, and this happens all the time whenever I sit up in high locations. I get a little nervous. So, I was a little nervous for the pyro being high up. Like, in the bottom, I don't care about pyro, but high up, I do care about the pyro. Whatever. It's really weird. But anyway, so I'm like bracing myself here. I'm like, all right, here we go. Like, this is it. And then there's no pyro. And I'm like, what the hell? No pyro at SummerSlam? What is this? And I turned because my fiance was with me already. He got there on Saturday. And I turned to him and I was like, why do you think there's no pyro? And he was like, I don't know. And I told him, do you think I'm like, it was obviously the stadium that, they don't want pyro for some reason. And we were kind of like talking about that. And then Brian Alvarez essentially tweeted that the stadium did not allow for the pyro. And I don't know exactly why the specific reason is. My assumption is maybe like air quality, because you're in this like enclosed venue because the roof is there. And then everybody has their mask because there was a mask mandate. And I will say this, a lot of people were definitely, well, at least from what I saw in Vegas. I wasn't in the section with the crowd, but everybody that I saw was definitely honoring the mask mandate and was wearing their mask and all of that. Unless you're eating, of course, then you pull it down and eat and whatnot. Okay, but for the most, so then I started wondering, I wonder if it's because of the air quality. But now that I'm thinking that Allegiant Stadium's just kind of a mess, I'm thinking maybe it was just Allegiant Stadium, I don't know, guys. I really don't know. what the case was there. We got a super chat from Bear Hudson who says, you have a ton of people who will continue to support everything that you do. My daughter who has been sick told me she wanted to be like you. Oh my God, thank you so much for saying this. Literally, thank you so much. This is really awesome to hear. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much, Bear. We got another super chat from Tom Talks Rubbish who says, P.S. I've sent an email before, but no worries. I will definitely look through my inbox. I'm sorry. These last couple of weeks have kind of been a little crazy, but I will definitely look at that. All right. So opening match, ladies and gentlemen, we have Omos, AJ Styles defending the Raw tag team titles against Matt Riddle and Randy Orton, RK Bro. And this is officially when I realized we weren't going to have pyro, when AJ didn't get his pyro and all of that, and Riddle with his sandals and everything. This match was a really fun one, guys. I'm looking through my notes here because they're really shitty notes this time around, guys. I was a little crazy being there. It's a different experience being there live and obviously, doing this from home. But anyway, so we see Randy Orton and AJ Styles kick off the match here. We see AJ hit a DDT on Matt Riddle, which was absolutely crazy. The live crowd was extremely, and I mean extremely hot for Randy Orton. He was the one out of all of these guys in this match that just got a reaction every single time when he came out, when he was tagged, when he did a big move, whatever the case may be. They were really into Randy Orton and they were really into RK Bro. Like, they are getting over, guys. And we should have known this already because they really are the highlight of Raw. There was a moment where Omos chokeslams Riddle onto the ring apron. I thought that was a pretty cool spot as well. There was another moment where AJ Styles does like a backflip and then a DDT onto Riddle onto the mat. I thought that was a really awesome moment. And if you notice throughout this match, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not think we ever saw Randy Orton and Omos in the ring together. And the reason for that, I'm assuming, is if you don't know how to necessarily work, Randy Orton will make that clear. But that was one of the things that I noticed, and maybe if I watch it back, I'll maybe notice it a little bit more. But I do not think there was ever a moment where we saw Randy and Omos together working together in this match. But anyways, we see Randy get he RKOs AJ Styles for the win, and they are now the new tag team champions, RK Bro. And this was a massive reaction from the crowd. I got to talk to Matt Riddle after the show, and guys, holy cow. So what you see on Raw, the Matt Riddle that you see on Raw is like legit Matt Riddle. I don't know if he was like kayfabing me or if he really is like that just 24/7. I don't know the guy personally, but when I did my interview with him, and even when he wasn't being interviewed, when he was just standing there, the guy was like on, like full on, batteries charged, so much energy. He was so in the SummerSlam red carpet after party thing that was held at the Delano, right next to the Allegiant Stadium. You just cross the bridge and you get to Delano. So it's right there. So there were a few people that knew the location. I don't know how they knew, but they knew, guys. They knew, and they were there. So a lot of people were sort of like, gathered around the red carpet area. You can try to see some of the wrestlers and all of that. Randy Orton passed through the crowd, and like people lost their shit and all of that. But there was a moment where like Matt Riddle was after my interview, because people were listening to like what he was saying, because he was just going off. Like I think I got like maybe 2-3 questions in, but he went off and he was talking about like, I think he said like snake print Speedos, that's what that they were gonna wear. I don't know, guys. I had to really speed up to really hear what he was saying, everything, because the guy just has so much energy. But even after that, he was engaging with the crowd. There was a funny moment where he's, the crowd's freaking out. He's, they're throwing, like, they're talking back and forth. And then, like, some kids are there. So Matt Riddle's, like, telling them, like, I think they're asking him about his scooter. And so Matt Riddle starts telling them, like, they don't let me use my scooter past 11 o'clock. I thought that was really hilarious. And there was just a bunch of little funny moments there between Matt Riddle and the crowd. So that guy is on, and he provided some of the most fun interviews for the people that were there. And he was one of those people that if you were there waiting to see, like, some of the superstars and all of that, he was probably one of the best interactions that you got from everybody there. We got a super chat from Reggie Simmons who says, how you can do 1 million shows a week and I can barely grade all these papers in time is beyond me. LOL. Keep being awesome, my sister. Thank you so much to Reggie Simmons. I appreciate it. I came on here. I literally made sure to leave super early because I knew I had the show at 1:30, and I wanted to make sure to get the show done with enough time because I want to eat dinner after this. And then after this, I got to watch NXT, and then I will be on Fightful with Jeremy Lambert, and we're going to be talking about NXT. So I do got another show later on today. Guys, I love my job. I really do. And I don't think a lot of people realize how much it took to even get to this point. Like, this is not like I don't know how to explain it, guys. Like, in terms of long-term storytelling to get to this position, it's long-term storytelling. I don't know how else to describe it. So, like, now that I finally feel like I'm getting some traction, some movement amongst the wrestling community and all of that, that is what, I worked hard to get to this point, and now I got to work hard to keep getting to that next level, But thank you so much to Reggie Simmons. BTW tip, guys, if you make enough noise, people can't ignore you. That is my life tip for the day. Thank you so much to Tom Tuck's Rubbish. He says he sent another email and is looking forward to hearing from me. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Tom Tuck's Rubbish, for sending in this super chat. And all right, guys, here we go. We got so many people. Wait, why are people saying? Oh, I'm so confused. Okay, here we go, guys. Where are we at? Okay, so this next part of the show, guys, I'm not gonna maybe be as positive. So please bear with me here. If you have any positive thoughts to say about this match, help a girl out here, because this was probably the least they should not have done this entire segment, this match, if that's what you want to call it. Everybody here knows what I'm talking about, and this is the Eva Marie match with Alexa Bliss, guys. And I am like, I like both. I like all these people here, okay? But in terms of what actually went down in the ring here, guys, hold on. Why is everybody saying that Ric Flair is here? I'm looking at your chats and you guys are all like scaring me. You're all scaring me. Is this the real Ric Flair? I don't think so. Is this the real Ric Flair? I don't think so. It's just someone named Ric Flair, right? I don't know, guys. I'm pretty sure it's just someone named Ric Flair, right? Yeah, thank you. Space Boy says it's not Ric Flair. You folks are gullible. Guys, I think it's just somebody with the Ric Flair name, guys. He said woo. He said woo. It's legit. Guys, yeah, it's just like someone said it had the verified check mark. What? I can't see that on here, guys. Someone says it has the check mark. What? Guys, I legitimately can't see that on here because that doesn't pop up on my end. So if Ric Flair's out there, if it really is Ric Flair, now I'm embarrassed. Okay, now I don't know how to. Okay, everybody's saying that it did. Someone says no, it has the tick. He has the check mark. What? Hold on. This is what I'm seeing here, guys. Hold on. Ric Flair's. I don't know what to say. Okay, hold on. Oh, now okay. This is what I see on here, guys. You seeing what I'm seeing? You seeing what I'm seeing? All right. I don't know what to say. All right, guys. I'm going to try my hardest to move on now. Everybody's saying that, yes. I don't know what to do. It was really Ric Flair's account. All right. Thank you so much for warning me, everybody. Woo! All right. Moving on as best as we possibly can. We got a super chat from George Gamero who says, you can tell how much you love your work and it definitely shows up in the product you put out there. Keep shining. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to send in these super chats and, saying nice things about me. I really appreciate it. All right. So here we go. Eva Marie, Dewdrop, Alexa Bliss. I am surprised that Dewdrop was not the person that ended up having this match. I think myself and I think everybody else here really thought that we were going to be seeing Dewdrop versus Alexa Bliss. And so I even asked Dewdrop about this at the media junket. I asked her, like, are you going to be stepping into this match on behalf of Eva Marie? And she kind of toyed a little bit with me. So I think that she was maybe like hinting that there was a possibility that she was, but then she didn't. Guys, I don't know what to say. In the nicest possible way. And keep in mind that I did talk to Eva Marie after this, and she's a very nice girl. So nice. I really love talking to her. I can see why she's in the position that she's in. But aside from the real life person and aside from like all of that, the match itself was terrible. It was terrible, guys. It was probably the worst match I have ever seen. Especially live. This killed the crowd. I said this about 100 times before this stream. Before when the stream started, I said that the crowd wanted to get into things. People wanted to be excited about things. This was not it. And keep in mind, I'll tell you guys this right now. Alexa Bliss is over. She's been over. You guys already know that. But even as this new persona of Alexa Bliss with the Lily doll and everything, she didn't get a massive pop by any means, but she got a nice reaction from the live audience, okay? It wasn't dead when she came out. When Eva Marie came out, I was expecting more boos, but she didn't get that. It was like a mixture of a couple of boos and just really that. It wasn't massive like heat or anything like that. I was expecting a little bit more of a dramatic like booing and all of that. But so we did get a nice reaction from Alexa Bliss. But guys, the crowd just did not care. They did not care about this match. Everybody knew that this was going to end in some sort of silly way. Nobody cared. So in this match, we see Lily. Lily takes a bump, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Lily. She bumps great. She sold it. I loved it. We see Eva Marie slapping Lily, guys. That was probably the most heelish thing that we saw from this match. She literally just grabs Lily and just starts slapping her like crazy. Even then slaps Alexa with the Lily doll, and eventually they end up fighting there. Alexa goes for the Twisted Bliss, but Eva moves out of the way. Eva then goes for the pin multiple times, and it was clearly not going to get a 3 count, but they still went. I don't know if they were trying to get the crowd invested with these near falls, but it didn't work because nobody fell for it. Eventually, we do see Alexa get the win here, and then Dewdrop takes the mic, and she basically says the loser of the match is Eva Marie. And I just wrote down worst match I have ever seen. They could have literally, I don't know how long this match was. I don't know in terms of minutes, but they could have literally X'd this match out, given whatever 5 minutes they had there, and given it to Bianca and Becky Lynch, guys. Hell, anything would have given more substance to that match, all right? So it was just like, this was bad, guys. This was really bad, and I don't think I can like say that enough. What did you guys think about this? We got a super chat from Senior Wilson 3S2K1 who says, WWE has probably found a way to get Becky Lynch booed now. It's unreal. The incompetence of these guys, absolute. And I won't say the bad word on here. But look, guys, first and foremost, like, I feel bad. And I said this at the beginning of the stream. I do not think Becky Lynch deserved this. I don't think, like, there are going to be people that, she's still going to be over, guys. Like, she's still going to be over because she put in the work and she did everything to gain, the respect that the fans have for her. At the end of the day, she came out and she did what she had to do to get that was her job. She came out and she did it. I don't think that the people should turn on Becky Lynch, but I know that there are people that are going to turn on Becky Lynch over this, and this necessarily was not the greatest thing to do, especially because Becky Lynch has been the most anticipated person in WWE. Her return has literally been teased nonstop. Every pay-per-view, people were like, is this a pay-per-view where Becky Lynch is going to come back? Is this the pay-per-view? So it was not necessarily the greatest look there, guys, which was very, very unfortunate. Cyclops is better than Wolverine says, I always knew you were a Lily Mark. Denise, hell yeah, Lily's #1 fan. I was going to buy the doll, but the doll was $30. And I was like, nah, bro, I'm not spending $30 on a Lily doll. A lot of the stuff was expensive. That's why I didn't buy anything at the Superstore, guys. I wanted to spend my money on food, which I did. Garrett Coulter says, LOL the hat, I'm dead. The hat. You guys, by the way, for those of you who are wondering, my head's not this big. It's just that I'm wearing it just on the tip because I don't want to have hat hair later on. So I literally just placed it above my head and I just look like some random, like, I don't know what I look like. I got the shirt too. Actually, this is actually a good time to say I got this free shirt, which I love. And then I got the hat. And then I also got this like awesome bag here. This little drawstring bag. I got this. And then I also got, this was all free, by the way. So thank you so much to WWE for giving this to all the media members, BTW, and feeding us. I had chicken strips. I had little mini burgers. I had pasta. I had soda. I had cookies. I had cupcakes. I mean, I was eating everything in catering. But we got this like program book thing with the programs. You guys know these. They have them all the time. And then they also gave us a mask. And I think it has the WWE logo on it. Yeah, so a mask as well. I had my own mask, which is why I didn't wear this one. But so that was really cool of them. They always give you free stuff whenever you and the hat, obviously. They always give you free stuff when you go to these press events, which is really, really awesome. And let's see what else we got here, guys. Cyclops wants to know if I bought nachos again. I did not buy nachos, guys. They fed us. I did not have to buy any food whatsoever. We all ate for free. So it was fantastic. Fantastic. Anytime there's free food, thumbs up, everybody. Alrighty, here we go. Let's move on. Let's move on from this. So after this, we had the US title match between Damian Priest and Sheamus. And this match, I was looking forward to it because I'm a big fan of Damian Priest. And he's very, very nice, very, very cool, very easy to talk to. Got to interview him twice at the media junket on Friday about this match. And then we talked again at the after party because, now he's champion. So I wanted to get his reaction on all of that. So that was pretty cool. Really down to earth, guys. Like there's a reason why people like him because he's just naturally likable. Like Bianca Belair has just this natural, likable presence. And so that's what he was there. But anyways, this match though, this was okay, I don't know how else to say this, but the start of this match was your ordinary Monday Night Raw match, okay? The people wanted to get into this match, but they weren't giving them much in the beginning. In the beginning of this match, it was your ordinary Raw match. It wasn't anything like, I would say that was like extremely spectacular. I think that the start of this match could have been a little bit better. However, towards the end, people were loving it because everybody wanted Damian Priest to win. Like, I'm sorry, we all like Sheamus, great fella, but nobody wanted to see Sheamus retain. Everybody wanted to see Damian Priest win, and you got that throughout this entire match. We had so much good stuff here. We saw Damian Priest do a springboard tope con hero. Sheamus didn't catch him during this, but in a way, because he hits the mat. But in a way, it kind of ended up looking a lot cooler because it just kind of looked more brutal, which I'm sure it was. So in a way, I guess it kind of worked out. Priest does a clothesline on Sheamus, then a spinning heel kick. He goes for the pin, but ends up getting a 2 count. Priest chokeslams him, Priest chokeslams him, and then he goes for the pin, again, gets a 2 count, and the crowd is just like freaking out here. Sheamus hits the bro kick, and after this, I was kind of nervous because he went for the count and ended up getting a 2 count there. And I was like alleviated when he did not win there. Sheamus then got Damian Priest at a heel hook in the middle of the ring. The crowd was really eating this up and really getting behind Damian Priest during this point. Then this is when it started to get even better because we then see Damian Priest take off the mask of Sheamus and he starts punching him. And then he gives him a kick to the back of the head. And again, this crowd is eating it up. Then we see a spinning heel kick and a reckon for the win. And we have a brand new US champion in Damian Priest. Now, here's the gist of this. I asked Damian Priest, about this moment. He loved it. All of the typical stuff that you get from these reactions. But when I asked him about what we can expect from his championship reign. He pretty much just told me that this is now where the real work begins, and he's going to do everything in his power to, stay at the top of his game. So obviously now Damian Priest as US champion is going to add, some additional pressures, and I hope that the crowd stays behind him, and I hope that they book his reign in a really nice in a really good way. I hope they do it in an entertaining way and we don't get 1 zillion rematches. I really, really hope not. All right, guys, here we go. So we're going to go ahead and move on to this next match, which I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not going to say much because I kind of just did not have any interest in this match. And this was the Mysterios versus the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. This was every SmackDown match of theirs that I've seen. This was nothing different whatsoever. The last couple of the minutes of the match were obviously fun because they sped it up. You had Rey Mysterio doing a bunch of cool shit. But other than that, you see the Usos retain, and I mean, zero reaction. Really, guys. Like, there was not much. I was expecting a bigger pop for Rey Mysterio during this, and especially given that we were in Las Vegas and we didn't get that like massive Rey Mysterio pop. That was a little bit surprising, but that's just the booking, guys. They took a little bit away from Rey Mysterio there, especially with all the Dominik stuff. Hasn't necessarily been, the greatest by any means here. Alrighty, guys. BTW, before we move on, I hope if I have not I know I'm going through the show in chronological order, but if there's any questions that you guys have that you're like, oh, I specifically want to know because you were there, send that in, because there's might have been some things that I've wanted to mention and then I just forgot to mention on this show. Also, I know we have a lot of new people that are watching me for the very first time. If you enjoy these shows, please make sure to follow me on Twitter, because that is where I post all of the links to my show. As you guys know, I work for multiple places, including Fightful, including F4W, including Wrestle Talk, including the Sportster, and all of that, and then myself here on this channel. So if you guys want to make sure that you don't miss a stream, follow me on Twitter at _Denise Salcedo. That is where you will find everything. And then if you do not want to miss what I post on here on this channel, make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already. I always try to do a lot of cool stuff on here. So yeah, subscribe there. All right, this next portion, guys, this next part here, this is kind of pointless too. I thought, and keep in mind that this was before the Bianca Sasha Banks match. I thought, damn, so maybe because we're not going to get Bianca Sasha Banks, they're going to add a match for Shinsuke Nakamura. When he came out, I was like, shoot, did he have a match that I forgot about? I literally forgot. I was like, was he on the card? I was like, no, he wasn't. I was racking my brain for like a couple of seconds where I was like, okay, I didn't talk about him on the pre-show. I mean, on my prediction show, and I didn't see him at the junket. I was like, I would know if he was having a match. And so I figured, all right, maybe they added a match for Shinsuke. They did not. They literally just, this was literally just your little summer concert. Rick Boogs, playing his guitar, Pat McAfee dancing like a wild man. Pat McAfee, guys, that's somebody that I need to put over here today, because in the press box, I'm getting the live atmosphere, but they also have screens playing the television portion of things. I didn't watch those because it would take away from like what I was looking at in the ring. So I didn't watch like the television portion of it, but I could hear all the commentary. So I was hearing all the commentary, and I just got to say, there were so many hilarious one-liners from Pat McAfee. I kid you not. There was people in the media section just like dying over like some of the most boring things that we were watching, but dying because Pat McAfee was legitimately making everybody laugh. So that was a plus to get to hear the commentary on that end. And then, Pat McAfee, he's fun. He's going out there. He's dancing. He's living his best life during this. So this was perfectly fine. Also, I should let you guys know too, if there was ever anybody talking on the mic or anything like that, I could not hear any of that. It was just because of the echo from the arena. Whenever somebody cut a promo or anything, I didn't hear zilch. I just heard a bunch of noise. So I couldn't even make out what any of the promos were or anything that we got on that end. I was not aware of what they were saying. But anyways, Now, I know we've talked about this a lot, but I just kind of want to touch on it a little bit. Bianca and Sasha Banks, that was the match that we were supposed to see. That was the match that everybody was expecting. And we've already talked about this a lot, but I just kind of want to really say that I thought they could have definitely done this different. I did like the way that they brought in Becky Lynch and the way that they swerved everybody and that we all legitimately thought that we were going to get Bianca Belair and Carmella. The way that they did bring in Becky Lynch was awesome in that sense, but everything else was, again, could have been done completely differently. If you want to hear me talk more about this, I talked about it a lot earlier, so you guys can always rewind and do that. But this was I just kind of want to say that this did take a lot away from Bianca Belair, and that was unfortunate. Becky Lynch's pop was ginormous, guys, and I mean ginormous. And from the events that I have been to, the events that I have attended, that was one of the most massive reactions that I have ever heard live from the shows that I've been at. I have to emphasize that a lot because that tweet that I posted about me essentially saying that Becky Lynch's return to WWE, the pop was massively huge from all the events that I attended. A lot of people thought that I was saying this in general of every wrestling pop ever, and that was not the case. But it caused a lot of Twitter drama, as you guys all know. But if you go back and you read properly what I wrote, you will understand what I meant by that tweet. And and I will stand by that. In person, out of all the events that I've gone to, that was one of the loudest, because I do not remember having, and keep in mind, I've been to a lot of events, seen a lot of stuff. I may have forgotten a couple of things, but this one felt extremely loud, okay? And if you were there, I think you can vouch for me when I say this, okay? If you were at the event, legitimately there, I think a lot of people will agree with that. But anyways, we're going to go ahead. And I don't know how that came off on TV, guys. I do not know because, again, I have not seen this. When she won, I think people were like, they were loud, right? But I think people were more sort of like, oh, shoot. Like, people were reacting based on how it actually happened. I think a lot of people were expecting her to win. But again, I think the reaction was more about the way in which it was executed and how all of that went down. Alrighty, lastly, actually not lastly, there's so many matches here. All right, Drew versus Jinder, guys. I have nothing to say about this match. This was your typical Monday Night Raw match, okay? Drew McIntyre won. He did not shank Jinder Mahal. And I made a joke on Twitter. And I said, thank God Becky Lynch came out because if they would have done Bianca versus Carmella, they would have literally had to shank Jinder Mahal to bring the crowd back. So Becky Lynch saved Jinder Mahal's life. He did not get shanked. Alrighty, after this, we had Nikki A.S.H versus Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's Championship. Guys, this match, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this may be one of those situations where like the TV audience and then my experience was totally different. I think that if I was watching on this match on TV, I would have been a little bit more into it. But I'll be real with you guys, after the Drew match, the Jinder Drew match kind of took me out of things a little bit. So it took me a really long time to get interested in this triple threat match because it was just kind of like, all right, keep in mind, we've been seeing Nikki A.S.H versus Rhea Ripley a bunch, Nikki A.S.H versus Charlotte a bunch. This isn't anything new. As somebody that watches Raw on a weekly basis, this was not anything, completely different and new. And so, like, it took me a second to get into this match from the live perspective. I caught myself, being distracted a little bit during this match. But either way, once we got to like the ending and we saw, Charlotte hit the figure four on Rhea Ripley. We saw Nikki breaking it up with a moonsault. We saw Charlotte then getting the figure four on Nikki. And then Nikki essentially tapping out for Charlotte to get the win here. I'm not surprised Charlotte Flair won. This is what I was expecting. I knew they weren't going to give the belt back to Rhea Ripley because that wasn't necessarily the hottest thing. Nikki A.S.H, you all knew that they were doing, something temporary with her. She was more of a transitional champion, which is kind of unfortunate. I think that if they would have if they would have given her a little bit more credibility, I think that crowd would have been a little bit hotter for her. And I think that, if she would have won, it wouldn't have been something that I think people would have been mad about. I think people would have been like, oh shoot, like they're actually, riding with Nikki A.S.H. They're actually giving her something here. But that didn't seem to be the case. And this ended up being very predictable and having Charlotte Flair win. And I'm a Charlotte Flair fan, guys. I am a Charlotte Flair fan, but I don't think my reaction was massive or even mild during this. So I would say that this was just a match. If I were to watch it on TV, it might have hit me a little bit differently. But we got a super chat from Edgar Dominguez who says, I love Becky. Who do you think should turn heel, Becky or Bianca? Man, guys, I do not know, because I feel like Bianca is more of a natural baby face where she's just instantly likable like that. Like, it's genuine. And Becky is more of like, she's so cool that you're like, okay, because she's cool, like she's this baby face. So I do not know. I feel like it shouldn't be either of them, but now they have to do it because of how everything played out. Now somebody has to turn heel, right? But it shouldn't have been that way. I think they should have built them both up as strong baby faces, but clearly that's not what we're probably going to get. So we'll find out. I'm not really entirely sure on how I feel about that. But thank you so much for sending in that super chat. I really appreciate it, guys. All right. Somebody points out that 3 women's matches, not even 20 minutes on a how many hour show, shaking my head. Well, I mean, the Alexa Bliss, Eva Marie match, I mean, that one went way longer than it should have. This match here, I don't know how long it was, though. It felt a little long. But again, this one took me a while to get into it. All right. Let's see. Let's do Edge versus Seth Rollins, guys. This is cool just because, we had Edge come out with the Brood entrance, all the red lights and the box and the fire and all of that was a really cool visual. The people were very excited to, see Edge and react to Edge. This was one of the matches that a lot of people thought was going to be everybody thought it was going to be a match of the night. I thought that the people this was the match that I would say brought the people back. This was the match that after the Nikki A.S.H., Charlotte, Rhea Ripley, Drew Jinder match, this was a match that kind of got people back into the action and got them feeling stuff. When the final moments in this match, when Edge hit the execution, people popped big time for this. Edge gets a crossface on Seth Rollins. The crowd got really hot for this. Like, they were behind Edge, guys. Like, Edge is over. And then my favorite part of this was when Edge started smashing Seth Rollins' face into the mat. That was legitimately my favorite part of the entire match. In the end, we do see Edge win. Again, this was probably one of the best matches of the night, and brought the people back to life, everybody. It brought the people back to life. But here we go, because this is another match this next match that we need to talk about is Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley for the title. And man, guys, woof. I don't know I know what to say, but damn, guys, this was not good. If Eva Marie versus Alexa Bliss did not take place on this card, I would have named this the worst match on the card, okay? And I'm a Goldberg fan, and this was the worst match on the card. This should have been a fast match with high impact moves, with Bobby Lashley winning. They could have still done all of the post-match stuff that they did with Gage and the beatdown and the chair and all of that. Perfectly fine. But the way that they got to this match, the way that they got to the ending was a mess, guys. It was a mess. Man, holy cow. I don't even know where to the way that they ended this match. So essentially during this, you see Goldberg, he goes for the spear at one point, and you think that maybe they're going to go with it here and have him win, but no, MVP pulls out Bobby Lashley's leg. So I really enjoyed that. That was pretty fun. Then we see Lashley chop block Goldberg. Then we see Lashley slam Goldberg. And then we see Lashley go for the hurt lock, but Goldberg is able to get out of it. And then Goldberg starts to sell, I think it was the left knee. Yeah, I think it was the left knee. And he kind of rose out of the ring. And I'm thinking, is he legitimately hurt? I legitimately thought that Goldberg was hurt. I did not know if this was a work. I did not know if this was legit. I had no idea what was happening here, because the way that this played out, once it started going really long, that's when I realized, all right, this is this is part of the story that they're telling here. And then when the referee ended this match, I thought, shit, maybe he is hurt. So it was very, very confusing. I felt like I didn't know what was going on here because it wasn't entertaining. I couldn't make out the direction that they were heading in. And then it just ended. And it was so lame. It was so lame. It was bad, guys. And this did not do any favors for anybody. All right. So afterwards, obviously, the post-match attack, you have Bobby Lashley continue to beat on Goldberg. He's hitting him with the chair on that left knee, etc. That was great. All right. Good stuff. Like I said, keep the post-match stuff. The post-match stuff was fine. Then you have Gage running in and Lashley gets him in the hurt lock. Great. I love that too. That was fantastic. Awesome. But everything else before this, it could have been easy. Fast match, cool moves with two big dudes. That's it. Bobby Lashley wins. Then maybe he continues to attack Lashley afterwards. Gage comes in, puts him in the hurt lock. Perfectly fine. See, a lot of people were very mad with Goldberg coming back and all of that. I got a lot of shit for being a Goldberg fan. But here's the thing, is that now I can't even defend it because you have essentially any interest that the few people left had, not few people, there was a lot of people that were still interested in Goldberg, as we saw from the reactions on Raw, but this didn't do Goldberg any favors. The way that they told this story, it made you not want to see Goldberg, and that didn't do him any favors. He's already not liked by a majority of the WWE fans. So why make it even less attractive to like Goldberg? You're just now giving the people reasons. I feel like if you're going to spend your time and investment in Goldberg, at least give the people a little reason to want to see the guy. So yeah, I thought that this was not good. This was a very poor execution. And obviously based on the way that this match ended, it looks like we're definitely going to be having a rematch. And a lot of people on Twitter immediately told me that they assume it's going to be taking place at the next Saudi Arabia event. And apparently the prince is a big fan of Goldberg. So that seems to be that's what's going to happen. But again, this was just not the way to execute this match, guys. I was not interested. It was a bummer. But we got a super chat from Jason J, who says, what was the crowd reaction to Tiffany Haddish calling the United States champion the national champion? I cringed when I heard that. What? I didn't even know that. Guys, I literally, holy cow, what? I didn't even notice that. So like I said, because of the sounds from the arena and everything, and whenever people did any promos, I didn't hear squat. I couldn't make out anything that people were saying. And yeah, they were playing it on the, the audio, like I said, on those screens. But when you have that audio coming in, then you got the audio from the arena coming in, then you got the audio from the Titantron coming in. It's just too many things that everything gets muffled and you can't make anything out. I didn't even catch this. But you know what, guys? It's Tiffany Haddish. She's a big star in Hollywood and all of that. But yeah, obviously you want to prep those people. I did not know she said that, guys. I did not know she said national champion. So this is news to me. Sorry, Jason J. I wish I would have given you a better reaction. But I literally did not hear when she said that. And I'm a fan of Tiffany Haddish. I really like her. So there's that too. So maybe I'm a little bit biased because I'm a fan of Tiffany Haddish. She's very funny. I did laugh though, because I was seeing it. I couldn't hear what she was saying, but I could see what was happening. I did laugh though, because when she was talking, she forgot to like move the mic back and forth. So like you could barely hear what she was saying because the mic wasn't on her, but she was talking. I don't know, guys. It was very weird. Maybe it was like that for me because, again, I was getting 3 different sounds coming in my direction. But thank you so much to Jason J for sending in this super chat there. I appreciate it. And alrighty, guys, let's get into this because after this, we had the main, oh my gosh, excuse me, the main event of the night. All right. It's been a wild last couple of days, everybody. Roman Reigns, John Cena, and I'll be honest with you guys, this one, I thought that I didn't write down any notes for this match, okay? Because I thought this match got very, very good. It worked its way there. It was a slow start. Okay, fine. I'm cool with that. That's usually what we get. I was expecting that. But the last final couple of minutes, oh my God, I thought they did a really good job of getting me to be like, shit, are they really going to have John Cena win here? And I knew that wasn't going to happen because, they had, like I mentioned on my show on Friday. Yeah, on Friday, I mentioned that, obviously with Roman Reigns saying that he was going to leave WWE if he didn't walk out as champion. So we know Roman Reigns isn't going to go anywhere. So that was a little bit of a spoiler, at least for me, in my opinion. It made things a little bit telling that he was not going to lose this match. And that was fine because I wasn't. There was a moment where I thought, damn, what if they really take the belt off of Roman Reigns? I didn't want it though, but there was a moment because of all of the promos that they did. They did such a good job with the promos that it made me start to question my own judgment on this match and what I thought was going to happen. It made me start questioning myself. But during this match, even knowing the fact that I knew Roman Reigns couldn't lose, I still fell for all of the near falls and all of those moments throughout this match. I fell for it. Why? Because I thought they did a really good job at it. So kudos to them. And then, ladies and gentlemen, you best know this now. I am a Brock Lesnar girl. I love Brock Lesnar. I'm a big Brock Lesnar fan. I just think he's very, very exciting. And I know there's a lot of Brock Lesnar haters out there. Well, I'm not one of them. I'm a Brock Lesnar fan. Let me cheer for who I want to cheer for. Anyways, so this match ends, right? Roman wins. Okay, cool. Then, out of nowhere, we hear dun, 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 and it's Brock Lesnar. And I'm like, fridge, yeah. I literally leaped out of my seat and just started cheering. I literally just started losing my mind during this because I wasn't sure if we were going to see Brock Lesnar. I had a bigger feeling that we were going to see Becky Lynch, but I didn't feel like we were going to really see Brock Lesnar. I was not sure on that whatsoever, okay? And so when Brock Lesnar came out, I lost my cool. And, and he gets into the ring with Roman Reigns. I'm just like, oh my God, it's happening. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and then you have Paul Heyman there. And sadly, I didn't get to see Paul Heyman's expression, so I did miss whatever Paul Heyman's expression was. I did not see that part, but I was just losing my mind throughout this. Roman Reigns essentially turning around and leaving Brock Lesnar just there. That was the way to do it to, protect both guys and, keep the storytelling for later on. I liked that. And I think that's how things went off the air because afterwards, I think they played Brock Lesnar's music. And then afterwards, you're already thinking the show's over. Even the people in the audience were already thinking okay, the show's over, this and that. But when things went off air afterwards, Brock Lesnar went into the ring and literally just beat the hell out of John Cena, okay? He was suplexing him. It was awesome. And the people were going nuts. Oh my God, Brock Lesnar's back. He, this was a surprise. And then he was in the ring with Roman Reigns and now he's beating the crap out of John Cena. So it was a really nice ending to the show that I think left fans feeling very happy. That was the best part of the night, definitely. Having Brock Lesnar coming back and the way that they did this, it felt like one of those moments that, is going to go down when you go back and you look at history and all of that. It's going to go down in one of those moments. So I really, really enjoyed that. that was pretty much it, guys. That was the show. But let me see. I got plenty of super chats we got to get into here. Again, if there was something that I did not talk about, or that you are curious about, please let me know, because I want to make sure I provide whatever information I can from a live perspective that I may have forgotten to mention. Thank you so much to Flamethrower Fluff Salisbury, who says, y'all go easy on Tiffany. She was nervous because the Summerfest is one of the hugest shows of the year. Oh, wait, is that a joke? Oh, I gotta go back and see what Tiffany Haddish said, guys, because again, I missed it. I just saw her doing it. I couldn't make out what she was saying. So I'm gonna have to make sure I go back and watch that. But thank you so much to Flamethrower Fluff Salisbury for always tuning in and sending in these super chats. Someone says it's hilarious. All right, so that obviously means I missed an inside joke because I didn't get to hear this properly. Dan V900 says, I was frankly shocked and dismayed that Roman's monologue was interrupted by wrestling. The audacity of Cena. The audacity. Thank you so much to Dan V900 for sending in the super chat. We got another one from Casey Heenan, who says, I bet Bobby is mad that Brock wants Roman instead. Well, I mean, there's more of a story there. So, that too. Well, when I spoke to Bobby Lashley on Friday, thank you, because your super chat just reminded me of this. I asked him, like, who do you have your eyes on? Like, who would you like to, be in the ring with? Who would the almighty one like to go up against? And his answer was Brock Lesnar. I should have known then. But yeah, he definitely said that. And he said, like, it isn't just because everybody else wants to see it, but he basically wants it too. But I just think that the money is a little bit more, in my opinion, and this is arguable, of course. My opinion, I'm more interested in Brock Roman Reigns. But again, that's the thing with Brock, is that you have a lot of options. And I'm still interested in Brock Bobby, but I do want to see Brock and Roman first and foremost. So thank you so much to Casey for sending in the super chat here. We got another one from Chris Ledeck, who says, I like Lesnar, but I think it's an indictment on WWE, how they haven't made more stars in the past 15 years to challenge for the title. I can't argue with this. I'm a big Brock Lesnar fan, but I cannot argue with this. We definitely need new stars, because just even like on the women's side, just focusing right now on the women, who are your champions? Raw Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair. SmackDown Women's Champion, Becky Lynch. Guys, it's 2021. We got another super chat from A.H. It says, did you like Brock's new look, the beard and the ponytail? Thank you so much. I knew I was forgetting to talk about something. Hell yeah. So we had all seen those pictures that showed up on social media, and essentially we're floating around with Brock Lesnar and the hair and the ponytail and the facial hair. Oh, I love it. I just think it adds something to Brock Lesnar. Like he has this, like, he's legit, man. Like, I don't know how else to say this. Like, Brock is just like this cool, pardon my language, but he's this cool motherfucker. And so, like, that look just adds to it. Like, it just adds to it. As you can tell, I'm a Brock Lesnar fan. Leech96, thank you so much for sending in the super chat. We got another one from Dan V900, who says, what did you think of Lesnar taking out Cena? I thought it was freaking awesome. I was already good. I was leaving, guys. I was like, oh, because I thought the show was over. And okay, so here's what you guys do not know. So that SummerSlam after party started, I think it started at 9, okay? The show was still going on at 9. I was still in the venue at 9. So I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to make it to the event. I'm not going to get any interviews. I was freaking out. But I was like, I can't leave. Like, I was like, I can't leave, because I was thinking, like, what if Brock Lesnar comes out? And then, like, even then, like, afterwards, so like when Roman won the match, I was like already like starting to get up from my chair. And then when Brock Lesnar's music hit, well, obviously all hell went, broke loose, and, I forgot about everything. But then afterwards, when Brock Lesnar, when I thought that things were just going to end the way that they ended on television, I got up and I walked up the stairs, and then I was like, I told my fiance, I was like, I'm going to go say bye to Sean and his wife. So I was starting to walk to them when all of a sudden I noticed that there is more going on. And so then I'm like, oh, shoot. So then I started watching what happened with Brock Lesnar and John Cena and all of that. So I wasn't expecting that either. I forgot John Cena was still there. And so I really liked that beatdown. Again, I thought it was a really good way to send the people home with that, that extra little bonus. I didn't even realize the show was off the air already, to be honest. I didn't even realize it. But anyways, yeah, I loved it. I thought it was awesome. And again, a good way to send the crowd home happy. Thank you so much to Dan B900. Let's see what else we got here, guys. I think we got a couple more super chats here that I need to read. This one's from Travis B. Hartwell. It says, loving what you do. Can't wait to see how Paul Heyman reacts about Brock and Roman. I can't wait either. Oh boy, this is gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I hope it is too, because it's like, come on, Brock Lesnar. You can say that's his first love. His first love. His first love is back. We got another super chat from Robert Jimenez who says, should Big E cash in on Roman or Lashley? I do not know, but I just know that they shouldn't have Big E in these like silly situations where he's running out there trying to get his Money in the Bank briefcase back on SmackDown. If he's going to go after either of those guys, they need to give him more credibility and not have him chasing around his briefcase like he's chasing around a chicken. They really need to make sure that they build him up, because the people want to see Big E, okay? They want to see him cash in, right? And they want to see success for Big E, but they still got to make sure to do their part and continue to actually make Big E even more credible than where he's at right now. They need to make people really think that there is a chance that he can become champion. So I do think that they still need to make sure to do that. And that's not going to happen if he's out there fooling around with Baron Corbin in this storyline. So there you go on that. Alrighty, guys. I think I got mostly everything. Wow. We ended up having a really long show, but again, we just had so much to talk about. Again, I really hope I got everybody's questions answered and all of that. Before I go, guys, please do not forget to follow me on Twitter and or on Instagram at _Denise Salcedo. Please, guys, you're already here on the channel. I have posted, I lost count of how many interviews, but there is at least more than 10, I think, interviews up. Triple H talking about the tryouts, talking about the NXT changes. That's an interesting conversation. I have interviews with Damian Priest, Nikki A.S.H, Drew McIntyre. I'm like, who else? Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley says she's a fan of my channel. She has seen me before on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Bianca Belair, that interview, the last time I checked was at 50K views. Make sure to check out that one. Matt Riddle. Sorry, guys, I'm blanking on everything, but go there. Go to the channel, check out those videos. It would really mean a lot to me. And other than that, I will see you guys later on Fightful to talk about NXT TakeOver 36. All right, everybody, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in a bit on Fightful to talk about NXT TakeOver. All right, bye, guys.